not use Navy Federal Credit Union for your loan, and here is why.
Coming to you live from coastal Virginia, it's Betsy
and Alan. I need everybody to understand something because we do live in a community that has a lot of Navy, and hey, we love our sailors out there and all our military. However, sometimes you've been led to believe that because you're in the military, the best place to get your home loan is Navy Federal Credit Union or USAA. And we're here to tell you, don't do it. Here's why.
All right. So, first of all, they just do a pre-qualification and refuse to do a pre-approval up front. That hurts us. So, my last 5 Navy Federal pre-qualifications, or actually deals, have fallen through the week of closing. 5. So I just got another one on a $1.1 million house. The agent comes to me and says, don't worry, they are rock solid, Betsy. These people are so good to go. You don't have to worry about it. They have so much money. I said, great, I don't care. I said, not only do I not want to use them, but if you are so inclined to do so, they have to be pre-approved through my lender. So the buyer said, oh my gosh, we are so offended by that. I mean, so offended. We have so much, we would never do that. But what we will do is we'll go get a total approval through Navy Federal because we're so approved. I said, you know what, if you're gonna do that,
give me a full approval.
Get a full approval. Guess what? Not approved.
Not approved, not even close to being approved. Especially not even close to being approved without selling their house.
Yes. So the agent says to me, Betsy, trust me, they're approved. I'm going to go to my lender, and I'm going to get them approved because I think they're still approved. I just think it's a Navy Federal thing. I said, okay, no problem. Goes to their lender, and guess what? Not approved. So here's what I'm telling y'all. I get the loyalty that we have as military people to our USAA and to our Navy Federal. They're phenomenal at car loans. They're phenomenal at banking. Fabulous. Continue to go there. Great. Use your credit union. Wonderful. I have no issues with that. I mean, we went and got a HELOC from Bayport. They're great. You know, great, done, bingo, bango.
But, and here I'll tell you from personal experience, okay? You know, I was in the Army. I was with USAA for my insurance. They would have been who I went to for a mortgage loan. I was with them for probably almost 40 years. I've had a USAA account. I didn't want to move my insurance.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I would do, nope, USA, nope, USA, nope, USAA.
They're oversaturated our market. We are overpaying. It is killing me.
So Betsy finally made me go look at it. I looked at it. Our homeowners insurance alone saved $1,500 a year on just homeowners insurance. Our car insurance saved $2,200 a year. So between the two, going away from USAA, we saved over $3,000 a year between our car insurance and our home insurance.
Now, USAA insurance is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong.
Their customer service is great. We do like it. However, I do want you to know that that was just on car insurance and home insurance. When it comes to the mortgage loan process, here is the problem. Being local and understanding our market and the nuances in our market is critical. Being local for communication and communicating with one person is the most critical thing. Top agents like Betsy and like the team, they understand that if somebody comes in and has a pre-qualification from Navy Federal or USAA, it is not worth the paper it is printed on. It might as well take it and wad it up and throw it away. And that transaction, the complication and the problems, if they use USAA or Navy Federal, have tripled just trying to communicate during issues.
Oh, and I had a bigger one. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I almost forgot this one. We had a transaction, another one on a $1 million something house, all of a sudden, the week of closing, I get a denial letter. Remember?
I remember this one.
I get a release, and I go, that's cute. You can't release on this contract. And the agent says, well, he just wants to release. Agent, of course, that doesn't have any business being in the industry. And I go, well, he can't release. We're past that point. So all of a sudden, a week later, I get a denial letter. So it was with Navy Federal. So I pick up the phone and I call the lender. Of course, you can't get them. We all know that, right? They don't answer the phone. So I send an email over, and the lender says, well, we didn't even order the appraisal. We were under the understanding that everybody was okay with this not moving forward. I said, well, you issued me a denial letter. And she said, well, yeah, because we were under the understanding that you were okay with this not. Wait, so is this a fraudulent denial letter? Because the guy was putting $450,000 down. So then when I got into the denial letter, it said something about him not having sufficient income or something, sufficient credit. I said, oh, okay, that's great. So I said, well, you would have known that on day one when you sent the approval letter over. That doesn't make any sense. By the way, that deal with that buyer is closed with Rocket Mortgage today. So that had to have been a fraudulent letter, just so we're all clear.
Here's what you need to understand, and I can't say this any clearer. Professional agents, experienced agents in our market know that Navy Federal is a problem lender, that it is going to cause issues. So I appreciate if you're a buyer and you want to be loyal because you're in the Navy or you have an account at Navy Federal. Hey, I love that. However, I want you to know it is going to handicap you as a buyer. And if your agent doesn't tell you that, you've got the wrong agent. You have to understand that. So before we move forward, I need you to make sure that you subscribe, like, and review us, because we want to be able to keep bringing you informative information.
Especially like this.
So that you don't make mistakes.
This kind of stuff is super important because there's a lot of people out there who really do believe.
If we get multiple offers on one of our listings, and one of them has a Navy Federal pre-qual letter and the other two don't, if that's the best offer, we're going to go back to them and ask them, are you prepared to move to a different lender? Because if not, we're going to give our sellers the information that we think they should go with one of the other offers, or that we should try to negotiate it up to this offer to avoid having to use Navy Federal.
They're also setting you up with agents like all the time that are just whoever agents.
If a lot of times, if you go with Navy Federal and you don't have an agent, they're going to make a referral for you. And the reason they're going to do that is they're getting a fee back from the real estate brokerage
40%.
for referring them. And because the referral fee is so high, who do you think takes those referrals? Do the best agents take those referrals where they're having to give up somewhere between 30 and 42% of their commission? Are those going to be the best agents that are willing to take that? No. They give those out to the newer agents who will take anything to get a deal under their belt. Is that who you want? Kind of like the thing, do you want to go to the lowest bidder when you're flying on an airplane? Do you hope they went with the lowest bidder?
Also not clicking that Zillow button. That Zillow button puts you with those same people.
Yeah, that's a whole different one.
Bad.
But that's the key thing. So if you don't have an agent and you go to Navy Federal and they say they can get you an agent that'll help you, run even faster than just using Navy Federal.
Yeah.
So until next time, this is Alan
Betsy
from Coastal Virginia.